Hey, this is Matt once again with about to another video, and this is a paid request for Shawn. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Usually the best way to do it. I do have a Cash App as well, and it'll be any type of review, re-review, commentary, reaction, tier list, ranking, whatever the case may be, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. But this time it is Psycho 2 that Shawn wanted me to do a commentary on. So thank you for your generosity, Shawn. Hope you liked it. I'm paused at the beginning. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. Psycho 2. Been a while since I've seen this, so forgive me if I get some things mixed up. Like I did the Virtuosity commentary and I got a song mixed up. I meant one song when I accidentally said the other song on that commentary, so sometimes like my brain is trying to think of like 3 different things at the same time. But I thought this was interesting to do this transition from black and white to color. Not only just to show the transition of time and technique, and just how, we acknowledge Psycho, the original, of course, in the famous shower scene. And this is a sequel that honestly is my favorite Psycho film, is Psycho 2. I don't mind the first one. I would say the first one was grown on me. The first film, I liked the first half. When Jenna Lee dies, the movie, I lose a little bit more, I lose a little bit of interest. Because I don't really care about the characters other than Anthony Perkins. Like Vera Miles, no disrespect to her, but I didn't really care about her character or the other guy. And other than a couple cool shots, like the guy, the detective, the guy looking into things, him being stabbed, going down the stairs, that shot. I don't mind the first Psycho. There's other Hitchcock films I like more. Rear Window, The Birds, among other stuff. But definitely a great famous scene with Janet Leigh's death here. Of course, Janet Leigh, the mother of Jamie Lee Curtis, with the Bernard Herrmann score. But in the sequel, for the rest of it, it's going to be, I believe, Jerry Goldsmith doing the score. But yeah, this came out in 1983, the year I was born. And I think people were surprised there was ever a sequel to begin with. I think with the success of slasher films, like Friday the 13th, and then they saw like all these other slasher films becoming hits, I guarantee you someone at Universal said, well, is there anything we could do with Psycho? Like anything? Like anything at all? It's a recognizable name. Sequels, because the success of like Jaws 2 and other sequels. Sequels seem to be more of a intriguing theme for viewers. And there's a transition to color. And yeah, I thought that was an interesting touch. But the thing is, while this is, a slasher film, there's a lot more to it. And pretty much Anthony Perkins, a guy, his character gets let out, and you could argue that he is on the mend mentally. And in the tragic irony, outside forces are twisting him around that he gets back into kind of where he was in the first movie. If everyone had left him alone, who knows what would have happened. But yeah, Jerry Goldsmith did the score. I love Jerry Goldsmith. I miss him. He did Star Trek the Motion Picture and the first 3 Rambo films and underrated films like Runaway and Leviathan. Dean Cundey, the DP, he worked with John Carpenter a lot. The Thing being one of them. He also worked with Robert Zemeckis. Tom Holland, who wrote the film. Of course, Tom Holland would go on to direct the original Fright Night and Child's Play. I think he had written a script for a film called Scream for Help, which I reviewed. It was a terrible film, directed by the guy who did the first Death Wish movie. And Tom Holland looked at that movie and said, this movie sucks. If I don't write something again, I'm going to direct it. Because I think he wanted this director, Richard Franklin, for that film, because Tom Holland wrote this one, and he liked what Richard Franklin did with it. And then I think Cloak and Dagger, which I haven't seen that in forever, and Richard Franklin did that one. But yeah, Richard Franklin, the director, I'm a big fan of his. My favorite of his is Road Games with Stacy Keach. Pretty much Rear Window on wheels. I love Road Games. Stacy Keach, Jamie Lee Curtis, I think did a wonderful job. But here we have Vera Miles, who was in the first movie. In a weird way, Vera Miles kind of becomes a villain in the movie. In a weird way, like you get her point of view because her family was murdered because of this guy, and by the end, in a weird twist of irony, if she and Med Tilly had left Norman alone, maybe things would have worked out. That's the interesting thing about this. It's food for thought. So we got Robert Loggia on the right there. Robert Loggia, who was in the Stallone film Over the Top. He was in Independence Day with Will Smith and Bill Pullman. And of course, Anthony Perkins, back as Norman Bates. I guess there was talk at one point, in case he didn't come back, they were going to try to get someone like Christopher Walken for Norman Bates, but from what I understand, Anthony read Tom Holland's script, liked what he read, and said, I'll do it. And this is my favorite performance by Anthony Perkins, is him in this role, because even though he is a killer, he is a psycho, like in the first movie, you really feel sorry for him. Like, he has a vulnerability, and the way he plays it, you just really feel sorry for Norman. At least I do. I feel sorry for him. Because you tell like he's trying to have a regular life, he's trying to work, and he's scared and afraid, and then when you find out he didn't kill anybody in the movie until technically the one person he kills in the movie is the killer. Because you find out she's the one who was killing everybody. So it is. The irony is that the one person he kills in the movie is the killer. But sadly, because of what these people wouldn't leave him alone, now he's back to his mental faculties he had in the first movie. Which then led to Psycho 3 and Psycho 4. Well, it's a sequel, but it's also a prequel, so it has both. And of course, you have the Psycho House, which was on I believe it was on the Universal tour. I think. Don't quote me on that, because but yeah, Psycho 2 is just a pretty solid film. It's a film that I think even critics had to admit, for the most part, that it was better than they thought it would be. And one of those examples of a sequel to a film decades later actually being worth a shit. That's not always the case. Because a lot of times you did a Dumb and Dumber 2. You did a Beetlejuice. You did Coming to America 2. But yeah, Psycho 2 was 23 years after the original. Because I think the tagline said 22 years. Although I thought it was 23 with I don't know. Anyway. But I know the director Richard Franklin was a big fan of Hitchcock. Here's where it begins, these weird notes. But yeah, Richard Franklin, I said, I'm sorry, I'm just watching the film now. Just a big fan of Hitchcock. I believe Hitchcock went to his college and taught to the class. I believe that was the case. And you would definitely see influences in road games and Psycho 2 and other stuff. Dealing with that. Oh shit. Uh, Back in the days when you could find arcades at a cafe. Ms. Pac-Man, there you go. That still would be a cool thing. You go to like a, say, like a McDonald's, or you go to whatever the place, and hey, wait for your food. Play a little game. Pepsi. Got Pepsi right there in the back. Is it evil Pepsi? So yeah, Meg Tilly here in the back, which, from what I understand, her and Anthony Perkins did not get along with each other. I never really knew what was the deal, because I know they did there was the Psycho Legacy set, which was a documentary on the films, which I thought, like, it was cool that they talked a bit of Psycho 2 and 3. It was one of those, it was like better than nothing. But then made me wonder what the whole deal was with that. I was different acting styles, or what the deal was. He was like he's like me if I was first starting off a job, just stumbling my way around, doing what, try to figure out what the hell to do next. It is interesting watching this, like, knowing what you know of the story. So, for example, this story she tells about her boyfriend is all BS. The reason she's bringing this up is she's supposed to get in close with Perkins, and she's doing it for Vera Miles in order to get him crazy and make him lose it and have him sent back to the asylum. And just this subterfuge. So more likely she's talking to no one on the phone and all this other stuff. I know that Robert Bloch, who wrote the first Psycho, at least the book, I believe he wrote a Psycho 2 book, but it was Norman Bates and something to do with Hollywood. I guess they're like making a movie based on him, and he doesn't like the type of story they're telling, so he starts killing. It's supposed to be a satire on horror films and slasher films and on Hollywood in general. Which I never read the book, so I don't know how the details are. I mean, it seems like an interesting idea. Pretty out there idea, which I'm sure is why Universal's like, I don't know about that. So let's play a little bit more safe. Back at the motel. All that stuff. I think Anthony Perkins, he just plays it very well. Kind of this guy who's, I don't want to say always nervous, but maybe close to that. Dennis Franz. Dennis Franz from NYPD Blue. But he said you got he was in NYPD Blue. He didn't do a whole lot of movies. I mean, he was in City of Angels with Nick Cage. Die Hard 2. What sets up the lead detector first? I fucked that up. What sets up the metal detector? What sets up the metal detector first? The lead in your ass or the shit in your brains? That's what Bruce Willis told him in Die Hard 2. I mean, Perkins just does have a good look, where he could be very dangerous, and you're quite not sure what's going to happen next with the guy. So I'm just looking at trivia. Apparently, that scene earlier where you had the young Norman Bates and the doorknob, the reflection. The kid was, I guess, Anthony Perkins' son, Osgood Perkins. Which I think he's a director now too, Osgood Perkins. Oh, of course. I knew that name sounded familiar. So I didn't even put two and two together because Anthony Perkins' son directed Longlegs. Of course. Uncle Bill's favorite movie of all time, Longlegs. Oh my god. I didn't even put it together there was Anthony Perkins' son. Because, I mean, just because his last name is Perkins, I mean, that'd be like, oh, Brandon Lee and the General Lee and Jason Lee, and they're all related. No. Like Adam Baldwin, he's not really to Alec Baldwin or William Baldwin. Adam Baldwin, Full Metal Jacket. So, okay. So I learned something. Osgood Perkins, who directed Longlegs, is the son of... That's the son of Anthony Perkins. And he was in this as the kid reflection of the doorknob. So there you go. Like I said, learn something new every day. I guess at one point they wanted Jamie Lee Curtis to play in this film. I guess made sense because Janet Leigh was in Psycho, so how about the daughter? Plus, it's the girl from Halloween, but she's like, I don't want to do horror. She doesn't like horror. Also, she did Trading Places, and that was a big hit. So it says here, again, I don't know how truthful this is, but this is what it says. Meg Tilly was never allowed to watch any sort of TV, so had never seen the original Psycho, and was unaware of its significance. She did not understand why the press was giving all the attention to Anthony Perkins for his comeback role in the sequel, and one day on the set, Perkins overheard her saying, "Why is Tony getting all the attention?" Perkins was upset, did not talk to her during filming, and recommended that she be replaced even though half of her scenes had already been shot. Or granted, that's a very overzealous reaction from Perkins, if that's the case. But I can understand being pissed. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, lady? I mean, I'm the star. But I can understand him being mad about that, but not, you shot half the film and, yeah, have her replaced. But Vera Miles had good things to say about Perkins. He was delightful, she said. So apparently the way he said cutlery, he's like, cutlery. I guess it was a table read, and Perkins accidentally did that. So Richard frankly said, do that for the movie. Nice little bits of suspense of what's he going to do with that knife type of thing. Like I see, you see that there's a certain type of, weirdly enough, a kindness quality to Norman Bates. That he does mean well. It's just that he's so damaged that sadly that overtakes. Like right now, I mean, I wouldn't say tear, but he's probably on the right and narrow path. It just, again, he's going to be chipped away at that unstable psyche until. Which, I mean, you can't really feel 100%, I can't be 100% feel sorry for Meg Tilly because kind of one of those you reap what you sow type of things. It's like a lion. If you keep tapping the lion on the nose, can you really be mad at the lion for taking a swipe at you or bite you? Which sometimes, I mean, that happens. I mean, people mess with an animal and they mess with it and they mess with it and they mess with it, then it bites them or swipes them. And then that animal gets put down when all it did was his natural instinct, and it's the person who fucking was pushing. Don't push out if you won't believe, type of thing. So Med Tilly says that her worst film experience was working with both Anthony Perkins and director Richard Franklin in Cycle 2, saying they were both very difficult to work with. Said her best film experience was working with the people on Adness of God in 1985. Granted, I don't know what the details were, but again, if she was being that naive and that okay, if she was really crying about why is he getting all the attention, then I could see maybe some people, getting rubbed the wrong way. So the book Cycle 2 that Robert Bloch wrote, Norman escapes from the mental institution, travels to Hollywood, California to start the production of a film based on his life. And so yeah, they didn't Universal didn't want to go that route. That's funny. Apparently Tarantino said this is a favorite film of his and he prefers over the first one. Kind of for the guy that says the 80s is one of the worst decades for movies, so it's kind of irony. They praises an 80s movie. So I guess this was going to be like a made-for-cable movie, made-for-TV movie. But since Anthony Perkins got cast, then, we'll make it theatrical. I don't want to just keep reading trivia and just have the whole thing be repeating trivia that's on the internet, so. I don't know if I mean, if a guy who killed people, I don't know if I want him in a job with working with fucking knives and shit. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe an accountant or sweeping. He could get a mop, but not a place with knives and shit. This Fran's just good at that slimy type of character. I wonder what happened to Dennis Franz. I mean, I would assume he retired. Probably got all that damn money from NYPD Blue. He was on there for like a long ass time. He probably didn't need to work again. Now, Saito, like I said, this might have been the first Saito film I saw. And I knew enough of the first one, so I was not that confused. But I said I really liked Anthony Perkins' performance. It was very. God, what's the phrase? What's the adjectives I want to. Best way to describe him? You feel sorry for him in a weird way. He can wear the emotions well on his face, and people just completely pick at it with these notes. But yeah, Cycle 3 I did see a few years after this when I first saw this one. And I remember Cycle 3, it is what it is. I'm not. I think what it is with Cycle 3, like Jeff Fahey is interesting to watch his performance. I'm just not big on the rest of the film. I'm sorry. I'm just watching Dennis Frost. That was the craziest chicken shit too. I'm trying to remember that note. Did he accidentally throw into the fry? I guess the assumption maybe is Med Tilly somehow got and took care of the note and threw it away. Although, it seemed like he dropped it in the fryer or something. That's what it seemed like. That's just me. I mean, but yeah, I don't know if it's meant to just how convenient it is that he accidentally dropped the note so they can't see the evidence, or I'm assuming that. But didn't say like Med Tilly was around that area to be able to grab the note and hide it and stuff. Does it seem like she went around and went straight to Norman and was never near where the note would have landed or been at? But so I'm a teeny bit confused on that because it seemed like he dropped it and almost like it was into the fryer or something. Which is weird because he dropped it. So I don't know why he looked on the thing. Like, he's looking on the thing. I'm like, Norman, the last time you saw you dropped the thing. Like, you don't remember you dropped the note? So you think he'd be looking on the floor, not in that little turntable thing. So yeah, I didn't understand that either. He read the note. He dropped it. Then later on, instead of looking down there, he's looking here. Oh, it's not. I'm like, yeah, of course it's not there, Norman. You dropped the note, remember? But I don't know. If it was one of those things he read and then he went back and didn't pull it off, then that would make sense because you just tell. Maybe have a shot where she looks over, it cuts to Norman, and then that way you get the idea she's in the vicinity by the little turntable. So when you think about it later, it's like, oh, she was right by it. Norman wasn't looking at her. She could have just been like, yoink. So, yeah, that's just a little thing. But yeah, Cycle 3, and I got subtitles, so I can have this off for a bit. I can have this off for a bit. I got the subtitles on. But Cycle 3, like I said, other than Jeff Fahey's performance, it kind of felt... It wasn't really a worthwhile story there. It's, oh, here's a lady who is kind of like, to Norman, looking like Jenna Lee's character. And he's more in love with her. But he just so happens to be killing a few people. Some seemingly random people. Jeff Fahey tries to blackmail him a bit. He accidentally kills the girl. And then they're kind of back to square one. It just didn't feel like there was much of a story there. Kind of just regurgitation. It was kind of just been there, done that. Like, this is an interesting way of doing it, where he really is trying his best to be the saner guy. He wasn't full of it. He wasn't lying. Because I know he really meant it. So I like the little twist of, oh, well, this is who's really doing it and manipulating him. And then you find out the other who's really killing people. And also, we're 36 minutes in. No one has died yet. No one has been killed yet. So, as a slasher, if people are looking at it for body count or gore, this isn't really the movie. I believe that's a body double. That's not Meg Tilly. That's a body double for her. But yeah, like, we haven't seen anybody die yet in this. So, if you're going into this film, well, I would assume people who saw this film that they just will be more like the first one. But there may have been people who's like, hey, it's, Friday night, Saturday night. Okay, we'll go see this. I haven't seen the first one, but, I've heard good things. If they go into it thinking it's like Friday the 13th, maybe they'd be a bit disappointed. But, yeah. It's got a good story, good script, good cast. I think that helps. Apparently, Anthony is a pretty good piano player, so a lot of this piano playing is legitimate from him. But yeah, Cycle 3 I'm not big on. Cycle 4 I like for what it is. I do like the film. I think it was interesting to see Henry Thomas from E.T. as the younger Norman. And then, weirdly enough, it gives him a happy ending in a way where he... I don't know, I guess between the third and the fourth film, he met someone and seemed to really care for her, and then they're having a kid, but he's like, oh no, that kid's gonna be like me, and then he, throughout these flashbacks, and this radio person he calls in, I guess in a way, finally conquers his insanity, I guess, and drives away, and I guess happily ever after, so who'd have thunk it? I do like that notion, I don't know who's more sick, you or me. he thinks it's that guy doing it, Dennis Franz, when we find out it's someone else doing it. I think this is where we're finally going to get your first kill in the movie, about 40 minutes in. Like I said, it's not a big body count. It's not a big, like, gore, gag type of movie. I think it's when he turns around and he gets his face cut. Ooh, right in the face. There you go. That's the thing. You got like two differing things. You got the people trying to make them insane, then you have the other person doing the killing. So between a rock and a hard place, it seems for old Norman. Sorry, I'm not saying anything. But she just met Tilly doing doing the makeup, the eyelashes. Why are we? Oh, okay. Sorry, I kept focusing on her damn fingers. I'm like, what's up with her? Are we supposed to look at her fingers? But no, it's supposed to be the glint there for her to notice there's a hole in it. It was focusing on me. Okay, what is it? Someone with her fingers or fingernails? But oh no, we're supposed to be seeing that peephole. I mean, I don't think Meg Tilly does a bad job acting. I think she does a pretty decent job, but apparently Perkins didn't feel the same way. I'm like, yeah, I don't think it was that bad. At least I don't think so. Man, that's just me, though. I will say it's a lot. It's at times hard to do a commentary because, to be quite frank, I just don't know what to say during a lot of the parts of it where I just feel like I'm repeating the same thing over and over again, and I didn't work on the film. You don't have someone to bounce off. You know, asked what's your opinion on this and how do you feel about this. There's no one to talk to. There's no chat to talk to. So, I mean, a scholar, historian, they're pretty much saying stuff that you could find on the internet with due diligence and 10 minutes of research. talk about this. I mean, not much talk about the scene. That's county sheriff talking to Robert Loggia with probably some donuts there. Sandwich. One of each time he did that, he had to like spit the food out. Which is the thing, because if you did this scene like 10 times, you know, you can't eat it 10 times, or otherwise you're going to get sick, you're going to get full, and all that stuff, so. It's like, who the fuck is... It's like, who the fuck is that? That's a cool angle. Just kind of like a Dutch angle. But it's, it's fine. Sorry, it's fine to use it here. Unlike Battlefield Earth, where you use it like every fucking shot. Damn, sorry about that. I don't know why I'm having such a damn coughing fit. Didn't help I didn't get much sleep the other night, so... bit tired. So sorry about the lethargic state of the commentary. But I want to get this done because I know Shawn's been waiting for a while, and I'm like, damn, I'm going to get it done today. I'm going to do it now. By hook or by crook or by coughing a fit. And a lung out. I don't know, damn, why is so much coughing? Mama Bates is like, Norman, clean your fucking shirt. You got paint all over it. And the thing of it is, like, Anthony Perkins didn't really get to do a whole lot of movies after this. I mean, of substantial note. What, he was in a Toby Hooper like TV table film called I'm Dangerous Tonight about a haunted, I forget what the hell it was, tape or some stupid fucking thing was haunted. I'm like, really? He was, I think, a director of a film being made within the film in that movie Destroyer. There was, of course, Psycho 3, Psycho 4. There was Edge of Sanity, which is a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde with him in it. But I mean, you didn't get to do a whole entire lot of stuff. They're fucking with him some more. Nice camera shot here to go from away from the window to down here, where people are sneaking to this basement. And good camera work here. I mean, I guess this is the show that it's okay. It seems like Norman is trapped in the attic. So when, you know, these people get killed, you think, well, wait a minute. He's trapped in the attic, so how the hell did he do it? Or did he imagine it was Lot and he went killed him anyway? But this is his mind kind of separating the two, where in the Norman mind, I was trapped in the attic. I don't know what happened. But the mother then would go, nah, it's not really Lot. Goes down, kills some teens. There you go, the end. This is probably the closest you get to that slasher film element. You got a little bit of smoking, a little bit of making out, a little bit of possible sex, and then eventually a little bit of killing. This is probably the closest you got to that little bit of slasher film vibe. Damn, he's already in the first base. Calm down, dude. Don't explode in your pants. That's the thing, though. Like, okay, you want to sneak into a damn basement and do it? Like, there's a motel right nearby. Just, wait for him, pay the fucking price, and just go to it. Oh, yeah, he gets a tat. That's right. Ooh, right on the hands. There you go. I guess, what more can she do is like, bye, buddy. Not gonna break in and try to rescue your boyfriend. And he's like, yep, he's dead. Fuck this. Smart decision, because she lived. If she probably stayed, she'd probably be dead. Well, fuck you, boyfriend. You're dead already. Ah, see, now the door's not locked. Did you imagine it being locked? It was there a lot to begin with. As we're trying to find out, someone's playing games with him. And then another person is killing. So they said two versus one. They ain't fair. Like I said, it's a bit hard to know what to talk about consistently throughout the film, because it's a pretty simple story with few locations. Oh, man. The cops coming by. Yeah, considering they did someone telling, hey, someone got killed and stabbed in the fucking basement of this guy who just got released from asylum who killed a bunch of people. I was surprised. I'm surprised they didn't cuff him and bring him in. Right then and there. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Trust me, the movie's not boring. It's just lack of sleep catching up to me. So many times you have sheriffs in these movies that just happen to be fucking fat. Especially in horror movies. It's like a sheriff, 9 times out of 10, he's a fat ass, too. All those damn ham sandwiches and Dunkin' Donuts, I guess. Now, I know this did get a Blu-ray from Stream Factory. I never did get the Blu-ray. Or I'm checking someone is. As soon as I try to do something, someone wants to text. Whole damn day they don't text, but now they want to text. Silence them back. Just knowing me, I'll forget. Of course, they find nothing because if they found something, then they'd be cops worth of shit. Or the movie would be over. See, this right here is just starting all over again. He's just so, like, depressed about that, too. He's just sad, depressed, like, no, I can't be starting over again. Like, defeated. Like, self-defeating nature to him. Like, just starting all over again. Where, in this movie, it's, not his fault. Where he just wants to fucking... be left alone. Sure, I'd just leave him alone. I want to see what was on the Psycho 2 Blu-ray. Kind of curious. Which is $12 at Shaw Factory and $15 on Amazon. I like how this is Psycho 2, but they have the Psycho 3 poster. There's a Psycho Collection Limited Edition 4K from Arrow Video. Oh, there's Tom Holland. Sorry, we're right in the previous scene near the sheriff. The other guy was Tom Holland, the writer of the film. Let's see. New commentary with screenwriter Tom Holland. Interviews back to the day with the cast and crew. Audio interviews with the cast and crew back to the day. TV spots and a trailer. So the only new theme was a commentary with Tom Holland. And the third film, interview with actress Kate Shea. Interview with actor Jeff Fahey. I commented with the screenwriter of that film. An interview with Brent Stevens. An interview with effects guy. So, feels like a little bit more features than Psycho 3. this is where you find out the truth of what's going on. I'm sure the audience went, oh, whoa, what, whoa, what's going on here, whoa. So it makes it seem a little bit more interesting, a little bit more stuff going on. It's not just your typical, yep, he's crazy again, he's telling people one by one, and the movie. It's like, whoa, there's a bit of deception here, a little bit of something else. But maybe you should not have put her into harm's way in the first place, Vera Miles. Like, you're already putting her in harm's way. You're like, he's a psycho, he's going to kill you, but you're having her go undercover in this whole thing where she could get killed any minute, so what's that make to you, lady? Damn, you definitely don't want any of that. Whole heap of deception going on about around this facility here. Whole shitload of deception. And there you go. Like, did Norman like jump the damn stairs and come all the way down, or jog all the way down like zoop like the Flash, or? And in a way, I mean, Meg Tilly's right. There was another person in the house. There was another woman in the house. Which is where they went all with the notion of her saying that she was the real, Mrs. Bates. and she was really Norman's mother, and I think in the third one they try to retcon that a bit. I think, yeah, I think in the third one they kind of retcon that a bit by the end of it there, at the end of the film, because he gets caught again. Does it? I think, yeah, at the end of the third film he gets caught. I think at the end of the third film, doesn't he have like the hand? And then I guess they let him out again at the beginning of the fourth one. So he was let out again of the asylum. You think you'll let him out the first time, and then some people died. We'll never let him out again, but probably that's not the case. Apparently, he had a pretty damn good lawyer, or pretty damn shitty people to judge it. He got paroled a second time. And sorry about that with my throat. Apologies. I said, because there's not like a whole lot of action or backdrop or anything to talk about. A little bit hard without seem like I'm just repeating myself. Peephole, yeah. Saw someone there. See, now, right then and there, we, the audience, should know something weird is going on, because we saw Norman going up the stairs, so he wasn't there. So again, he wasn't there. So it was like, who was it? Unless it was... Oh, maybe we think it'd be Vera Miles. Oh. So I know... I mean, I'm looking at the time here. We got 43 minutes left of the film. You still got Vera Miles getting killed. You still have... Well, the first of the two finales, because I would say finale 1 is what happens to Meg Tilly, and the second one is the real, well, in this movie, I guess it's supposed to be the real Mrs. Bates. I don't know if I want to be sleeping in the same damn room as Norman Bates. I mean, I'm just saying. He may be trying, he may be, a tragic figure, but I still ain't gonna be sleeping in the same room as him. I damn didn't fucking well tell you that. Just in case. It's a good question. Why you stand above my bed with a knife? Confused is a light way to say it. Fucked up would be a way I would put it. More fucked in the head. Be a better way to put it. Well, maybe you need to go back to institution. That's where you feel safe, and we can all be safe. Sometimes it's just how it is, Norman. Tough titty. Hey, don't make promises you can't keep. Listen, I would say at the end of the day, this is just a nice character study on Anthony Perkins' character. How fragile a mind can be, and how with a few pokes and prods it could succumb when it's that fragile of a mind. So Robert Loggia has arrived. Need some coffee. Like I said, there's not a whole lot to talk about because there's not a whole lot happening on screen. And like I said, I do like the film, but I don't have like a lot of stories of when I first saw this and this and that. And it's not a film that I hate. It's definitely not a film I hate or rage on. It's not a film I need to defend because it seems like this gets a pretty decent reputation as it deserves. I'm laughing as I looked at the table, of course, much later on with the bit with the shuffle. That's definitely a hell of a scene. Hell of a way to end your movie. I always make you coffee for Robert Loggia, but I could never stand coffee. It's like beer. I've tried tasting beer. It tastes absolutely gross. Same with coffee. Maybe it was like French vanilla cappuccino. heavy on the vanilla and sugar, then I could enjoy that. I didn't like that. I remember having that when I was back in Iowa. There was a gas station nearby where I lived where we'd go there and pretty much I would go back and forth from work. And a lot of times I pass it, it's like, I'll get this to go and just walk home while drinking that. On a side note, decided to pick up this cherry 7-Up because, to be honest, I'd never tasted cherry 7-Up. I had 7-Up. There's that new Shirley Temple one, which I liked. This isn't that great. I can drink it, but I've never picked it up again. I'm pissed, though, that I didn't get the Shirley Temple because I thought that one tastes better than this. But I'm like, I'll see what this tastes like, but god damn it, if I knew what I knew, I would just picked up another Shirley Temple one and not this one, but it is what it is. There's Meg and Vera fighting again. The guy in the back being nosy. Mind your own business, guy. Do your job. Mind your own fucking business. I do wonder if they'd ever try to reboot. Well, what am I talking about? They did try to remake Psycho. That's the film I didn't talk about. I was talking about the sequels. God, the Psycho remake. I'm going to close my eyes. Just go on a tangent on that piece of shit. Gus Van Sant's Psycho remake is one of the most pointless, useless remakes of all time. Horrible remake. Because the director wants to go, well, it's like a play, and we'll do our reiteration of Psycho, and God, it would show just how bad of an idea it is, or if it was because some dissertation about how we reuse what the hell? I don't give a fuck what his purpose was. He made a beat for beat remake with miscasting. I liked Anne Heche. I liked Vince Vaughn, but they were miscasting their roles, especially Vince Vaughn. And no creativity because it's the same goddamn movie. And you watch, you go, what's the point? What made Psycho great? Anthony Perkins and Janet Leigh. So let's make the film same, but let's not have those two fucking things in it, of course. So it'd be inferior no matter what. Yeah, that's Psycho remake. Because I was thinking, I wonder if they'll ever reboot it, but they tried. And then you had the Bates Motel, which I know that was a TV movie. Like it was a failed pilot. But I think they did a newer Bates Motel show. I know it's getting so damn. It's only 4 o'clock and it's this damn dark. Yeah, 5 seasons. Vera Farmiga was Norma Louise Bates. Which Vera Farmiga, she was the one in The Conjuring and all the Conjuring films. Well, yeah, all the Conjuring films. Which I liked the first Conjuring, second was okay, third was pretty shitty. I forgot, yeah, the TV show lasted for 5 years, wow. Longer than I thought. 2013 to 2017. Well, there you go. So now it even gets to who was calling. Was it really? She says there's no one on the line, but he hears someone. So now Med Tilly should be realizing, yeah, he's losing it. Just get the fuck out of there. Just leave. He's gone. He's gone to the funny farm. Mid Tilly, just get the fuck out of there and just go somewhere. Just have, you're done and just go to your job and shut the fuck up. Don't live there anymore. Don't go back. But I guess you could look at it as like she feels responsible because I've listened to Verimo. She helped start this whole unraveling of this guy's mind in this state of his life, I should say, in this era of his life. So she feels a bit of guilt because of that. I'll just turn on the damn light. That way the... Why not? There we go. So yeah, that definitely confirms Verimo's been calling the damn house doing this shit, so definitely shows the audience she's culpable in that. Sorry, I'm not saying anything again. Just they take him to the swamp and Dennis Franz's stuff. So I'm just listening to the dialogue between the sheriff and Meg Tilly. Like he says, "Yo, we're not incompetent." I'm like, "Are you sure?" Because I'm standing over here and I see things a little bit differently about you, teen shit cop. Yeah, Meg Tilly and Vera Miles, you guys should just get the fuck out of here. So you just see that Norman still didn't finish the paint job. That's actually an interesting detail. He didn't finish the paint job. He still got the paint bucket on the ground at the spot he was going to try to finish. I'm trying to remember, this is where she gets it or Rubber Loja gets it. I can't remember. I know eventually she gets it. This might be the moment here. By then, if she had left things alone, she'd be alive. But no, she had to push it and push it some more, and she gets herself killed. Uh-oh, there you go. You don't join your sister. Ooh, right in the mouth. Choke on that, bitch. Right in the mouth and through a little bit back to the neck. Throw a little bit added effects door there, which you could not do back in the first film era of the first film. So, I mean, oh yeah, maybe this is where they both get killed. 1-2 punch. Ooh, right in the neck. I mean, right in the mouth. Swallow this. Talk about, you don't eat this. Yeah, she tried to eat it. She did. It didn't work out. She failed. Yeah, nice makeup effects there. Same with later on when the whole shovel bit and how they have like the dummy, because obviously you're not going to hit someone, a real person in the head with a shovel. So the way they have the dummy and actually pretty convincing, I gotta say. Back in the day, we had to do everything for real in camera. Okay. I was wondering, where do I go next? What the fuck do I do next? Oh shit. Oh shit, what do we do now? What do we do next? Oh, someone's creeping up behind him. And again, I'm sorry for the long bouts of silence. Just good actors working together. Rubber Loja, Anthony Perkins. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, this retcon. I mean, probably didn't really make fans that happy. Where oh, Norman was adopted, and Mrs. Bates just took care of me. I have a real mother, though. That's the reveal of who the killer's at the end. But yeah, I think by the third film, which I think Anthony Perkins he made that film, and that's one of the things he got into it is retcon the retcon and going back to how it was Mrs. Bates really was Norman's mom. Which I mean didn't bother me what they did with this. It made things a bit intriguing, but you tell go back to square one on that. No, Mrs. Bates, no, she was the mom, not took care of her. And, by here's the real mom. And that's the thing is that I didn't catch this the first time, but when what he just said, he's telling the truth. We just assume, oh yeah, okay, yeah, he's crazy. His mom's dead. No, what he said was the truth. His mom is killing people to protect him. She told me herself. Really did tell him. Really did talk to him. Really did convey that message. I think Robert Loggia noticed, oh shit, something's up. He's calling me mother. And then Med Tilly pretty much admitted it. Uh-oh. I don't know what. I know it sounds stupid, but I looked at his face and he makes me think like he would have worked as a Vulcan in Star Trek. I don't know, just maybe because I looked at the structure of his face reminds me a bit of for some reason a little bit of Leonard Nimoy and other people play Vulcans on Star Trek. I don't know. I don't know what it is. So now what? You don't try to do a bit of Amy Steele from Friday the 13th Part 2? You don't dress as your mom and try to calm you down? Which, I mean, is what happened a little bit at the Friday the 13th Part 2. Wait a minute. So I was looking at the mirror. I'm like, what? The reflection in the mirror. Maybe the reason it didn't work is because that's not the mother he's thinking he's talking to. He's not thinking he's talking to that mother. He's thinking he's talking to the other mother, his actual mother. And that's why seeing her didn't work. This is Robert Loggia. Yeah. Tell by the clothes. Oh yeah, she's gonna stab him. Ooh. I do like that little. I do like that added idea that when he falls, it lands and the knife embeds even further in. You just it just again that's the again what's what I liked about Tom Holland's script. Like she spent this time trying to tell Norman, yes, I'm your mother, so I can't be on the phone. And now that he believes is like, oh no, I'm not your mother. Ooh, just deep stabbing him. Just stabbing the shit out of him. Damn, just stabbing the ever loving shit out of him. Of course he's losing blood. You stabbed him like 8 times. He didn't. And just how the irony of how things worked out. Yeah, and the irony of how things worked out. And I mean, I can't really blame the cops in this instance. They see a girl wearing Norman's mom's clothes. He got stabbed 12 times. Her fingerprints are on the knife that hit, stabbed Robert Loggia. You know, of course, this is an ode to the original Psycho where they're doing the explanation scene, the explanatory bits. But this one final twist, I think, is a good creme de la creme that didn't feel like a cheap twist. It's like, huh, kind of one of those reactions. Oh, okay, those kind of twists. That realization, oh, he really didn't kill anybody in this movie, at least yet. Because I think at this point the audience said, okay, yeah, he got away with the murders, and because of what the others were doing, so he got away with the some of the killings, and damn, old school damn furnace. Yeah, if you want to shovel it along, just feel free. Damn. Like you got hit with the stigmata, buddy. Yeah, and sorry about that. Yeah, I'm trying to almost fall asleep on the damn camera because that's what I did for lack of sleep. But yeah, I wanted to get this commentary done. Uh, there you go, grilled cheese sandwiches, which actually doesn't sound too bad. Grilled cheese sandwiches does not sound too bad. This is where the audience is going, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? And the shovel's positioned in the right way. Whole fucking family of nutcases if that's the case. So you banned your kid when you were little and you grew up to be a psycho killing people to protect your son. Your sister, who raised Norman, was an abusive piece of shit who psychologically destroyed Norman. And then Norman, we know how nuts he is. Oof. The way that shovel just hits the head looks legit. Looks like a damn hard hit. I mean, it's on this old woman too. Well, I guess, I mean, he killed one mom. I guess what's killing the second mom? Well, I guess he needed a body to replace the one that was taken away in the original film. Back in business in more ways than one. And here we have the poster shot. Which, from what I understand, this shot, like, people made Christmas cards with. And then with the marketing, like, they had these other posters and the director wasn't happy with it. And someone said, well, what about that Christmas card you made? Or someone made? That's that last shot. And it's like, okay, sure, we'll just, we'll do that. And simple but effective poster. A nice splash shot too. Kind of a full circle thing, back to where things were at the beginning of the first movie. I like this Jerry Goldsmith, like this creepy like whistle type of thing to it. I don't know how else you want to. I'd call it like a whistle type of thing. It's not an actual person whistling, but that's the only. It seems like a whistle type of thing. And that's yeah, that's Psycho 2. Yeah, nicely made. Director that definitely you could tell studied Hitchcock and did a valiant effort following his whims, his trajectory, what he's done before. Good cast. Anthony Perkins plays a very tragic figure that you felt sorry for, and you kind of like, damn, they pushed him back to now he's all psycho again. Vera Miles, the irony that the monster she wanted to stop, she recreated again. Go figure, lo and behold. Yeah, Psycho 2, still a very solid film. With that said, thanks for watching. Thanks once again to Shawn, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.